people in this world that did not tune in to the Alliance Vlog podcast. Shame on you!
Shame on you. My name is Ella Indy, and I'm one half of the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champion.
And I'm Tiffany Page, the other half of the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion.
And you better go listen to the Alliance Vlog. What is it called?
Podcast, period.
Or you're ugly. Period. Power approved.
Hey guys, check this out. I am officially now sponsored by Dubby. Dubby is a clean energy drink made to give you focus with no crash. If you guys are like me, you're always needing a burst of energy, especially with one with no crash. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. It keeps me awake with no jitters, guys. Check it out. Merch link is in the bio. Dubby.
Are you ready?
Power. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
I'm building an alliance. God bless the internet.
Okay.
Let's party. It's showtime.
It's time for the Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts Kevin Frazier, Jaden, DKM, and J. Cal.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Alliance Guys podcast, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. My name is J. Cal. Gentleman to the next to me is DKM.
To the next of you?
To the next, I stuttered. Like, not just stuttered, but stuttered bad. Haven't done that in a while. Anyways, it's my pal DKM, Mr. Devin K. Mercer. How are you today?
Not talking to you.
What did I do?
Well, give me time. I'll come up with something.
Oh, now you sound like my wife.
She paid me $20 to say that, so.
$20 is a discount. You should have held out for $15. I mean, yeah.
Well, since Jay's brain has decided to take a vacation today,
it's been a day, man. I've been up since 4 this morning. I went to the gym today. I got my pump on. I feel like I'm big. I feel like I'm bad. I feel like ready to take on the world, except for I'm exhausted.
And your brain is obviously lacking oxygen.
I actually went to back to school night. We were at the back to school night with the kids tonight. So
well, that would do it to me.
Yeah, that was a little bit exhausting. My Piper decided she wanted to be a little rowdy tonight. So it was fun. It was great.
I don't know. Somebody's frozen. Is it me or is it him?
Let me see. Am I frozen?
Well, I guess I was just saying somebody's frozen. So I don't know who it was.
I want to say what's up to Mr. Willie Bone, who's in the chat. Willie said,
there we go again. Somebody's frozen again.
I think it's on you, my friend, because I see you just fine.
Which one of us is freezing up?
Our pal Willie Bowen, who's in the chat, says, "Hi, gentlemen. Just watched NWA Southeastern Championship Wrestling. It's a good wrestling program." I agree, Willie. I do agree. We have a lot of viewers who are now joining us via the X app, which I'm totally cool with. But you guys are so quiet. Say something. Introduce yourselves. Tell us who your favorite wrestler is and why. Or don't. It's entirely up to you. I don't care. But the show is more fun when it's interactive. So I like to recommend everyone to be interactive.
Interactive where the winds go sweeping down the plains.
I don't know where this is from, but I'm all about it. Let's go.
Oklahoma.
I don't.
Haven't you ever watched the musical Oklahoma?
No. Why would I do that?
Call yourself an American.
Did you say I'm not an American?
Not if you've never seen Oklahoma.
Oh. You know, it surprises me someone from Texas is so proud about Oklahoma.
Yeah, my dad was from Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. What side of your family? I guess your mom was from Nebraska?
No, nobody was from Nebraska.
Didn't you guys live in Nebraska?
Yes, 15. I lived in Nebraska 15 years. My parents lived in Nebraska about 25 years.
So did you hear about what happened to our friend of the show, Silas Mason, the Thrillbilly?
I did, and that was very sad.
It's a lot of tragedy and unfortunate set of circumstances happening around the NWA as of late. Of course, Thrillbilly's house burned down. Him and Bruiser Bob. We saw him just recently on the Joe Cazana Promotions. He also was living there as well. Lost everything, and it's really rough. I feel bad for everyone involved because, as a homeowner myself, if I lost my home, that would be almost everything I own. And so that's awful. That's terrible. If you guys have the means, if you have the ability to, a donation of any amount will help Silas, help Bruiser Bob. Obviously, again, these guys apply their trade of pro wrestling to pay their bills, and it's a shame that that he lost everything. Both these guys. So if you can donate, please do. If not, maybe just share it on your social medias in case someone else might be able to help out. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Damien 666, who recently suffered a heart attack and also has a GoFundMe set up. He had a heart attack. He's going to be all right, but he has an extreme amount of medical bills that he's dealing with. And his family's trying to help him recoup some of those expenses. And again, if you guys are willing, if you have the means, please donate. If you don't, again, share these with your on your social medias with hopes that maybe someone who can donate would donate. It's so rough, man. Thankfully, luckily, I've been very blessed in my life where I haven't had to face too much adversity, like a house burning down or not being able to pay for medical expenses. So I'm grateful that I've been fortunate, but it can happen to any one of us. So I really do encourage. Sorry, that caught me off guard. I really do encourage you guys to help out if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. Not everyone has the means right now. We're living in a tough economy. Inflation's high. Everything costs so goddamn much. It's rough, man. It's real rough. DK, is that a Baby Shark coffee mug?
Yes.
Amazing. What are you drinking? You're not drinking coffee right now, are you?
No.
Tea?
Hot chocolate.
Oh, okay.
I'm having a couple of issues. I'm going to step out and try and step back in.
Sounds good. Now it's the J Cal Show. Welcome everybody to the J Cal Show. It's all bells and whistles here, folks, or not really. So do you want to say what's up to Jeremy? I see him in the chat. Jeremy's here. Championship Wrestling from Jeremy. Noob and company are here. Willie Bowen, of course, is here. Willie's joke of the day is J Cal, D Cam. You think that wrestlers from the NWA? Well, that's not a joke. That's a serious question. NWA JCP will be wrestling on NWA Power in the near future. Willie, I think so, man. I think we watched last week, there were two different tag teams. One of them was Bruiser Bob, and I don't remember the other guy's name. They were definitely, I think, ready for TV. They were ready, obviously I'm not going to put them in the main event or put them into highly leveraged feuds, but certainly to work enhancement matches. Absolutely. There's a lot of guys who are currently down there with Joe Cazana Promotions who I think would be able to step right into an NWA ring today, an NWA Power ring, I should say, today. And of course, Toby Farley is a guy who I have a lot of respect for, somebody I think that could add a lot of bang for your buck, if you will. Also looking at that roster, I feel like the Stu Crew could certainly be a tag team that could step right into the main roster. Of course, the Heat Seekers, they are the JCP tag team champions. I feel like they I feel like they should be in competition for the NWA US tag titles. They're a great tag team, and I feel like they could certainly add value, right, to the NWA right off the bat. Let me see if Mr. DKM is back. DK, you here?
I is here.
Did you see anybody last week? That was the first time you had watched Joe Cazana Promotions, right?
Yes.
Was there anybody that spoke to you last week that you thought that they'd be good on Power?
Of course, who else? I'm having to remember who we saw. There were 4 matches. 2 were tag teams.
The one that I suggested was Toby Farley. He was the one that he wrestled, and we weren't sure who was the heel. The guy kept pulling something out of his boot.
Toby Farley, he's got a look. I'd like to see him in the ring, maybe with somebody who could do more.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
Maybe someone who could lead through it. But yeah. I'm interested in seeing, the Stu Crew or Stud Crew or
Stu Crew. You're right.
Or Stu Meesum Crew or whatever their names are. I did watch the video of the promo that was done with Southern Six and those two. So they look like they could be interesting.
Willie brings up Freya the Slaya, and I liked Freya the Slaya. Now, we saw her one time on an episode of NWA Circled Squared. This is going back pre-pandemic in early 2020, and I feel like she had a lot of tools that would make her an asset to the NWA. First of all, it's the old Enzo and Cass line, right? She's got size, and you can't teach that. There's nobody that tall. I mean, I think she would even stand over Max. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen in the past, she seems very, very tall.
Yeah. And Max actually isn't as tall. She kind of does her hair up to add some more height. But if you've seen her in the ring with Camille or Taya Valkyrie or whatever, she's tall for a women's division.
Yes, exactly.
Or excuse me, they are tall for a women's division. I try. Tall.
Let me ask. I think and let me just say this as a dad who has a daughter who is lesbian, and I'm not breaking any barrier here. She's 19 and she's very public about it. She told me that the best thing to do is just try, and as long as you try and you're trying to be respectful, you're good. It's when you do things disrespectfully is when it's trouble.
I only disrespect you and
Jaden.
And Jaden, but Jaden deserves it.
Thank you.
Whether you deserve it or not, we don't always know. It's just fun.
Thank you.
It's far more fun. What were we talking? Oh, Max. And so, yeah, they are tall for the women's division, but not necessarily because Mims isn't that tall.
No, and they're about the same height.
And they're about the same height. And
I'd say Mims is probably 5'10", maybe 5'11".
I'm thinking he told us how tall he was because I was asking, how much he actually weighed, because he is a big guy. And so, yeah, I'm thinking, like you said, around 5'10".
And then real quick, Willie's joke of the day. You can't ignore Willie for too long with these. Tyrus's favorite 4 words are "all you can eat." Now that is funny. That's a good one, Willie. I like that one. That or here is your check. I think he likes that one too. My pal Traducus, who we haven't seen in a while. Thanks for jumping on, Traducus. He says, hello, gentlemen. By the way, I just want to say, please no backstage segments besides interviews for Power. I watch Power to not have that. I'm so over that due to WWE overdoing it. Not saying it was bad. It made sense, but not a fan. Yeah, I think you're talking about after Aaron Stevens incident. And, I kind of agree. Like, the storytelling should happen in the ring. You could have promos in the back, but I don't need to see like parking lot brawls. I'm not okay with. I don't need it. How do you feel about those things, DK?
Did you actually see what happened?
No, I didn't get to see Power this week. All of it. I missed the first 15 minutes of it.
Oh. I'll be honest, I kind of lost interest when it moved to the back because it was basically just it started out as just Kratos and beating up Stevens.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, well, I'll go at some point. And I didn't know what happened to all the other wrestlers. And I just figured I'd go at some point. We know that the masked duo is going to go up, Doom 2.0. And they did. And, by then I was up in the kitchen looking for a snack. And then, I come back and it's like everybody's laid out. And I'm like going, okay. I wonder what happened, but not enough to actually back up and see.
Right.
Because, there comes a certain point, the further you get from the ring, and this happens even in Falls Count Anywhere, where the further you get from the ring, the less interest I have in what's going on. So that's me. I'm not in any way implying that that's the rest of the world. But for me, once you start getting away from the ring, I mean, I suppose the first time it happened in, Jarrett's territory, it was a great thing, but I've seen that brawl a couple of times, and it's like, okay, it gets stupid when you're squirting mustard on each other. And I don't know.
Okay, a couple more points I want to get to. By the way, Jaden has now joined us. Thank you for joining us, Jaden. Our pal Traducus also kind of echoed my sentiment. Most people that are non-binary just care that people try. So I think we're good, DK. I think you and I are both good. Noob says the NWA women's division has a stacked roster, and there's a lot of women to challenge for the NWA women's title, the Burke. Yeah, I think there's quite a few talents there. My problem is the secondary titles, the tag titles, and the TV title. Then you have diminished quality of who's available and who's ready to work. Traducus was at the title match where EC3 took on John McChesney, and that was out in Erie, and said it was awesome that EC3 is more jacked in person, and also didn't know EC3 and John McChesney were both trained by J-Rock. So there's I didn't know that either. New information.
I have found that when you see them wrestling some of these people on the independents, that it's not uncommon for them to have a connection in another way.
That's funny.
Either trained by someone similar, or both of them know, Bob Jones over at, Cowtown Cadillac or something,
Well, yeah. The other more points are our pal Rosville's here. Willie Bowen says the NWA women's division needs more female tag teams. I agree with that. I don't think there's any question about that.
Well, they have 2.
Yeah, they have 2, maybe 2.5. Sometimes you can count Taylor Rising and Natalia Markova as a tag team, but it's on and off. Traducus says, and the 10 pounds of gold is beautiful in person. Yeah, man. Traducus, are you on other social media besides Twitch? Because I would love to ask you more questions about this at another time. See if you took any pictures Tell me how the rest of the show went, all that good stuff.
Maybe join the Discord.
Maybe join the Discord. All right, let me get a link for that Discord. How are you doing, Jaden?
Nudge, nudge.
How are you doing, Jaden?
I'm here.
You never really were here.
That's true. I never really was here.
I don't see you here. You look more like you're there.
I don't know where I am, honestly.
Oh,
You're
it's
here.
better
there,
to be.
You're everywhere. So beware.
Oh shit!
It's a hard knock, but sorry.
And this link is for everybody who's watching right now. If you want to join our Discord, you can't just find it anywhere. You gotta be connected, man. You gotta watch the live stream to get that link, and that link is right there. And I will put it up on the screen. But you could also
Both Jay and DK were trained by me, and that's why you have a little link now. You know somebody that knows somebody.
You knew somebody?
Well, we're like McChesney and EC3. We kind of know somebody.
oh, there we go.
Wait,
And-
Kenny McChesney was a wrestler?
John
McChesney.
McChesney.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kenny
I've
Chesney's
actually
somebody
known of him for a while. He's a Northeast guy, and he's actually pretty good. I don't know why he didn't get a little bit more out there, because he had a little something.
More
We should all
comments.
have a little something.
Some people have very little something, and some got a little of nothing.
Well, now
Or
you're
a lot
talking
of
about
nothing.
me, and I'm right here in the room, dude. Come on.
Oh. Okay, when did you get here?
Oh shit. Noob says, and even though I'm a huge fan of Natalia Markova, and even though Billy Corgan is high on her because of her star power and name value, there's other women like Ruthie Taylor and Tiffany who do have a chance. Yeah, I think all three of those ladies are talented. I think right now, I think the person who probably stands to be the biggest threat to the Burke is Tiffany Nieves. And that's not to say that, we don't know what's going to happen with La Rosa Negra. We also have to see what's going to happen with what's her name? Rakatahaka. So there's a lot of moving pieces within the NWA currently. And that
When you say that name, you sound like what the Iron Sheik says after he says, "Iran #1, America, Rakahakata."
Hak puh, spits on the flag, right?
Just out of curiosity. Oh, Jack Crockett passed away. That's sad.
Yeah, that's condolences.
Crockett family and the cameraman. I think he even has something to do with the current iteration of the NWA when they had their first TV taping. I think he was there.
I think you're right.
Giving advice.
What were you going to say, DK?
Like I remember.
It was about the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik. No. Oh,
Ruthie.
I guess I was. It actually goes further back. It was about just the women's title, which, okay, there are a lot of women there. But how many are serious contenders for the world championship? In the idea that you would actually think, yeah, I could see them putting the title on this person. So, yeah, I could see them putting the title on Tiffany
Nieves.
He may not be able to speak Japanese, but Jay's not that bad at Spanish.
I'm pretty good. I've been practicing 420 days.
What? You can say a name? I'm impressed. Anyway, but back to my thing. Seriously, who would you say? Yeah, I could see them putting the title on this person.
Nieves and Rosa Negra, and I'd love to see them fight each other. Feud with each other.
I would also.
No, I think you were thinking fight.
I would also argue that Max certainly could be a potential women's world champion, and I also feel like to a lesser extent Markova is probably on the short list. And then you're right, like as much as I love Missa Kate, I think she's great. I think she's really, really good. I don't think that they have a world title picture for her currently. Now that could change, right? That could obviously change, but I think as it stands right now, I think the four that we mentioned, La Rosa Negra, Tiffany Nieves, Max, and maybe Markova are kind of it when it comes to potential.
How short is Markova?
She's not a very tall woman. I think she's like 5'2", 5'3", maybe.
So why she's on the short list?
Yeah, that's pretty good, Jaden. It's really good.
By the way, where do I get some free cheese?
So Mayor, my pal Mayor, said definitely enough women wrestlers to challenge for the Burke, but how many of them are deserving? So Mayor was kind of reading your mind there, DK. Can't just go passing out title matches like free cheese. I think the whole free cheese thing goes back to like.
I want some government cheese. I made some great grilled cheeses. I just can't be nacho cheese because then you can't have it. It's nacho cheese.
I like pepper jack on my toast. That's pretty good.
Oh, I love a good pepper jack. Real good pepper jack. Anything spicy.
Jay, do you like beans on your toast?
Speaking of which, I'm going to be going to Scotland and the UK next year. And
they don't have beans on toast in Scotland, but they definitely have it on England.
I'm going to have haggis too, right? And I'm going to say hi to Fiona. I already talked to her. She's going to introduce the whole family to Fiona.
Fiona. Fiona. I'm sorry, DK, go ahead.
I was trying to figure out what Jay said. I don't know if you missed the beginning, but Jay's mind's not 100% here tonight. And so he goes, I already got it worked out with Fiona. She's going to introduce the whole family to Fiona. And I'm like, okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to Scotland and the UK. I'm bringing the entire,
Kaylee, sorry.
The Kaylee clan. No, wait, hold on. Never mind. Forget it.
You are Ku Klux Kaylee, so it does make sense.
We're going to go for a few days in Edinburgh, a few days in London, and a few days.
Edinburgh?
That's in Ireland.
I thought so.
No, not Ireland. We're okay.
I think he's going to Edinburgh.
Maybe. Hey, look. I'm trying here. Okay, just cut me some slack. Need a little patience, guys. And then we're gonna be. There's actually a city in Scotland called Caledonia, and they have a football club, and the team name is the Kayleys. No shit, the Kayleys, spelled just like my last name. So I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna buy a jersey, and you'll see me when I come home have this red and blue monstrosity. I'm hoping that maybe while I'm there, I might, when we're in the UK, I'm going to talk to my buddy Billy Wood and see if maybe I could check out one of those wrestling events if he's got one going on. I'll give him enough notice to run one.
Could you grab me a flag from Scotland?
I'll do the best that I can. I got you one from Jamaica, but I wasn't able to get you one in Mexico.
Really?
Didn't I? I thought I sent you one. Didn't I, Jaden?
I never got a Jamaican Make Crazy flag.
Son of a bitch.
It's probably still in your
suitcase.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I thought I sent it to you.
I collect flags in case anybody wonders, but it has to actually be from the country or it doesn't count.
So, like, if I get one if I order one on Amazon, a China flag, it comes from China. So does that count?
No, you have to actually buy it in China. Next time you go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen again. More comments from our friends in the chat. Traduca says, but yeah, I would love for the Hex to make a comeback to the NWA. I kind of would like to see Marty Bell have a run in the NWA. Nothing against Allison Kay. I just don't know what they have left to prove as a tag team. And I don't want to see them come in and do the job. If they're going to come in, I want to see them be strong. I want to see them have some dominant victories. So
Marty Bell versus La Rosa Negra.
Book it, bro. Book it.
Didn't they do that once?
Marty Bell? And they did Marty Bell and Thunder Rosa. Close, but not the same.
I thought they did those two ones.
Close and not the same. I dare you to tell both of them that.
Well, they both have Rosa in their name. That's close.
One's Puerto Rican, one's Mexican.
I didn't say they were the same person, Jaden. I said that their names were close.
I'm just making sure because, according to you, all Spanish people look alike.
I've never once said that. And Spanish people come from Spain. You might be speaking of Latinos or Latinas.
All Latin people look alike too, even if they're from Rome.
By the way, Italians would be a little Latin.
Yeah. I can speak Pig Latin.
Well, who can't?
I can speak kayfabe.
That's Doty says Jackie Crockett and his sister was there during the Crockett Cup in 2019 presenting the cup.
That's true. I remember that.
That just leaves the best commentator ever, David Crockett.
He's been there.
Yeah. I mean, he's the last Crockett, right? Of the Crockett family.
Crockett Jr. still alive, isn't he?
No.
Oh, no. He died a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. He passed away a while ago.
Oh. Triduca says, I'm interested to see what title Max goes after. I'm a little concerned that I think that with Max, I think they're going to try to put another intergender match where Max will challenge for the 10 pounds of gold at some point. And I'm not here for that. I don't really want to see that. But with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And then Mayor says, hey, I got a few minutes. Got here a few minutes late. Did you post the Silas Mason GoFundMe already? I did. And it's in the chat. I think you can just click on the link. I'm not entirely sure, but you should just be able to click on that link. And then let's see, more comments before we get to what we're doing tonight. Real quick before I go any further is we're going to watch season 4, episode 3 of the Joe Cazana Promotions NWA Southeast. We're going to watch it on our own YouTubes. You guys can watch along with us. If you're watching our live stream, you'll hear our live reaction, see our live reaction to that episode, and then we'll talk about a little bit more about the NWA, what's going on.
They also posted a promo that I'd like to watch either before or after that too.
Okay.
If you could put the promo on the screen, that'd be great because I don't think that'll cause any problems.
I think I should be able to do that.
But it was a pretty good promo, and I think it's something that I think we. I don't know if they haven't seen it. I think it should be seen.
Okay.
They posted it like just after we did last week's podcast.
Was it the Southern Six or what promo?
Yeah, it was the Southern Six.
Okay. All right. I have it ready to go, so we'll go to that in a minute. Let's see. Doty says it's a huge crime and sin if Natalia Markova never holds any title in the NWA. I kind of agree with that. Jaden, what do you think? If Markova ends up retiring or leaving to go to greener pastures, do you feel like that was a missed opportunity by the NWA to not put a title on her, be it tag team, television, or the Burke?
There's 3 of them, so honestly, yeah, there's enough titles that everybody should get one. It's like Oprah, you get a title, you get a title, you get a title. So that would actually say pretty damning to her if she doesn't. I wasn't a Fingers fan when I first saw her in the wedding because it just made a huge distaste for her. Watching her against Camille actually changed my opinion of her. So I actually would like to see her. Maybe I think the TV title is perfect for her right now. And I think that's something that maybe Markova should be the next TV champion.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate that either.
She has had a feud with Max. I mean, it would make sense, which is why it won't happen.
She was the biggest rival to Max up until Max winning the TV title. They had more matches. I think DK and I were at Hard Times 3 where they had a casket match, a voodoo casket match, because that's what you do when you're in New Orleans, apparently.
I used to call her Stifler's mother.
Yeah, you did. Rosville says WTF is genocide.
Where the fart?
Yeah. And I believe
not
genocide,
what the fart.
Yeah. Genocide left the NWA.
Or who the fart? I feel like Drax now.
I'll do you one better. Where the fart?
Yeah.
Genocide left the NWA, and she was at one point married to Chris Silvio. They have parted ways since then, and I think that might be part of the reason why she left. I don't know 100%. I haven't really seen her show up anywhere since, so maybe she retired. I don't have a good answer for you. Willie Bowen he'll take Monterey, Swiss, mozzarella, and provolone. Provolone's a good cheese.
I like provolone melted. I don't like it not melted. Completely different texture and flavor.
Let's see. Willie says Edinburgh is in Scotland. So I'm talking about Edinburgh. And this is where I'm going. And I just wrote it in the chat. And this is where I'm going to be. Edinburgh. And that's,
why don't you make a map?
What's that?
Why don't you make a map?
I will. I'll take
the Alliance-Wrestling.com UK tour.
I'm hoping to get to at least one wrestling show. If there's more, I'll try to get to them. Willie says he'd like to see Allison Kay versus Max the Impaler. Jammin' Music Man saw Allison Kay in ROH. The talent that's appearing in ROH, not everyone is under contract. I don't think Allison Kay is under contract at ROH at the moment. Mayer says Markova would make a good TV champion and uses the Lucky Seven to build herself up as a legit contender. Mims could cost Max the title. I mean, that'd be an interesting way to do it. Noob says it's sink or swim time for Markova. If she can't win the NWA women's title at some point, then the NWA may have dropped the ball on her, in my honest opinion.
NWA's dropped the ball on a lot of people.
Many. I think the shorter list is what they got right. Like Thunder Rosa. I think they did Thunder Rosa right. I think they got her good. I feel like they dropped the ball with Eddie Kingston in his short time with the NWA. We know they dropped the ball on the Pope for the short time with the NWA.
Eli
Drake. Tom Latimer. You can't really say that about Chris Adonis, considering he's a two-time national champion and had been given multiple title shots. So I wouldn't say that about him. But there's been a lot of guys. Huh?
He would, though.
So would our pal Polka Dot Pam.
Not only would he has.
Yeah.
I think they dropped the ball on him. I think there's more they could have gotten out of him. I don't think they used him to his full potential.
I agree with you there, but I do they did give him 2 runs with the national title.
And they did nothing with it. We didn't classify it.
But this kind of brings up a question. In some ways, the NWA has said, they adjust things based on fan reaction, and they'll use the question mark example or whatever. But on the other hand, a lot of times it seems like they have this idea, and they don't really
20-year idea. A 20-year idea.
20-year idea. But it seems like they're unwilling
to deviate.
It. And if you look back at Nick Aldis's reign and all the rumored times he was supposed to drop the title the second time, it was his buddy Marty's girl. Well, it was going to be Eddie Edwards. Although I've only heard that like third hand. I've never actually specifically,
Eddie Kingston, you mean?
Yeah. Because
I would have loved Eddie Edwards. That'd have been great.
I'm like Eddie Edwards. I would have been all right with that.
No, Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry. I always confuse the two. Say the names wrong.
Did you get Eddie Gilbert and Eddie Guerrero confused too?
What?
Did you get Eddie Gilbert and Eddie Guerrero confused too?
No.
What? I just love this. What? Spoken like a true Texan. What?
What?
That was I couldn't hear or understand what you were saying. What? Point being that it seems like, well, of course, I have no understanding of the Tyrus run. And I believe Tyrus would probably still be champion today if he hadn't had health issues.
You might be right on that.
I mean, I saw nothing in Billy that inclines me to think that he was in any way desiring to get the title off Tyrus.
If they would have dropped the ball on Tyrus, it would have went off into space.
True.
They could have dropped that big one they drop off the building during New Year's Eve.
But, part of the problem, let me tell you my biggest issue with the late 80s in wrestling. Ric Flair. I knew Ric Flair was never going to lose the title for any length of time. And it's like at some point, it's like, man, can't they put it on someone for 6-7 months instead of just, rematching your lost or, trilogy or, whatever. Can't there actually, and kind of like they did with Sting, of course, they effed up Sting's run.
Yeah, they really did.
And I blame Ole Anderson for that. And there gets a point, though, where it does kind of get boring. I mean, a lot of people go, oh, well, Dusty killed the place with all his Dusty finishes. Well, to a point, maybe, but maybe also because we always knew Ric Flair was going to somehow skate away. When Ric Flair regained the title 2 weeks after losing it to Dusty, I gave up that Ric Flair was ever going to lose the title for any length of time. And, he lost it to Garvin. And when he lost it to Garvin, we all knew he was winning it back at Starrcade. I couldn't figure it out why you put it on a face so the heel can win at Starrcade. But that was their big thing to challenge, WWE.
That's because Flair is more popular than almost every babyface in the company.
And then have him to be the champion and challenge and just defend against babyface like he's done other times. That it was just, I had no interest. And, and then he lost his Steamboat. And I thought, well, maybe finally. But then I go, Steamboat never holds a title long. Any of them. And so, sure enough, there was the rematch with Steamboat. And then by the time they announced the third one, it's like, well, okay, we know Ric Flair's winning the title back. Because there's no reason to do a third one for Ric Flair to lose again. And so they put the title back on Flair and then send Flair on vacation for however many months. And have an inactive world champion. And it's just there, and it's almost like that with EC3. It's like he hasn't held the title out long, and I wouldn't necessarily want him to lose it, but I don't see anybody right now that I'd even think, yeah, I can see them putting the title on that person. Everything's just like,
Currently in the NWA, no, there's not a single person that I can think
There's not one person, and certainly if they did, I would almost assume it's a hot shot. I mean, I think EC3 now is where they wanted, what's his name? Cardona to be.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that was the original plan for Cardona. And then when he got injured and then kind of some other stuff happened, I think they changed it. But it's like, but I see that in the women's thing. It's like, oh, well, Kenzie's hot now in a way, so we'll put the title on Kenzie. But it's like, I don't really see her losing the title anytime soon.
And they cooled her off, too, and that's the worst part.
Yeah, they kind of did because they haven't really given us any top gravitas, matches that we want with her.
Well, I think it's really easy for the NWA to be like, hey, Matt, come do a show with us. Come do a couple matches with us. We're going to put you in the main event. It's going to be great. They have a hard time getting top-tier female talent to just show up, right? The closest thing they had to that was Taya Valkyrie. On her, before she joined up with AEW, they were able to bring in Taya Valkyrie for a few shows. I mean, there was a point in time where Jordan Grace was
Chelsea Green.
Oh, and Chelsea Green. You're right, Chelsea Green. But I mean, I think that's more because of Matt Cardona than them having the ability to land Chelsea Green.
Well, she was wrestling for him more than Cardona was. It was.
Yeah, well, I think they brought her in first, right? And then then she left, and then they came in together, and then she left for the WWE. But like they haven't had that big draw, that big women's draw, and somebody like Jordan Grace could have done that for them. I still think, and I know it's very controversial to say it, but I still think Tessa Blanchard could be a huge draw for them. But then, as we talk about a huge draw, we talk about women's wrestling. Mercedes Moné just showed up on AEW last night, and it didn't really get a huge reaction like they had hoped it would. So, then you kind of get to this point where it comes to, if you're a business owner and your business is to get people to watch your product and people aren't tuning in for the women, then maybe it's best to build your own women from inside and spend your money on free agents that are male wrestlers that are going to bring in an audience. When you bring in Matt Cardona, I don't love Matt Cardona. I'm not a Matt Cardona guy by any stretch, but he certainly has a reputation to bring eyeballs to your product. I would say that Game Changer Wrestling benefited by using Matt Cardona. I feel like even Impact benefited from using Matt Cardona. I think in some ways the NWA probably benefited from using Matt Cardona. So it kind of gets to that whole point, right? So I don't know. I guess I'm rumbling now, but I think I made my point.
Here's my problem. Okay, DK.
I was just going to say, who are right now? Well, let's not worry about the people that have signed. But right now, who is a female that would be worth bringing in? Who's out there? Because I honestly don't know.
Who's out there, as in who's available for the NWA to use?
Like he said, Jay said Tessa Blanchard. So who else besides Tessa Blanchard would be fairly well known in the wrestling community and could go for
it? Emma, Tennille Dashwood.
Oh shit, that's a great answer.
Good answer.
That's a yep. Willie
Who
Bowen
needs to go back as a blonde? The brunette is just not working for her right now.
Tredekus suggested Allie Catch. I think she's more like. Tell me if I'm wrong, because maybe I'm getting confused. Isn't Allie Catch the one who teams with Effie?
I don't know. It's not my turn to watch Effie this week.
Sorry. Tredekus says yes. I think what she's doing in Game Changer Wrestling is really good for what she's doing in wrestling. What about someone like Shaza McKenzie?
Here's the problem. They need to stop going after the indie darlings.
Okay.
And go after people that draw people that are not the indie darling favorites. You need to draw people that aren't currently watching wrestling.
Like who? Give me an example.
Who to bring in, or who is not currently watching wrestling?
Well,
that's very easy in most of the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, who would you bring in?
Matthew Underwood suggests Hollywood Haley J.
Hollywood Haley J has a little bit of something out there of a name. I wouldn't say she's a massive person out there, but she is well more known. The Ohio Valley Netflix show was watched by more than any other promotion except for the WWE right now.
Yeah.
Then again, so is the midget show. But that is something. There's really not. And yeah, I know Tennille Dashwood's retired. Everybody's retired until they're not. But there's got to be. Who's released recently with the WWE, or who's going to be released? I mean, they could always call Ronda Rousey.
Oh,
love her or hate her, she'll put eyes and eyeballs on the product and asses in the seats.
What about I don't know. The names that I think we go back to the indie names. There'd be indie darling names. I've always been big on some of the SoCal ladies like Ruby Reyes. I love Ruby Reyes. I think she's great. That woman is getting into beast mode. She's taking it up a level. She's looking fit, and I think she would be a great addition to the roster. However, they're not going to bring in Ruby Reyes. And to Jaden's point, she doesn't have a huge name on the indies, or a huge name, she might have a bigger name on the indies, but her time in WoW isn't going to translate to getting a whole bunch of people to watch the NWA. And I don't know that anyone from WoW would translate into ratings for the NWA. I guess
AJ Lee.
Yeah, I was about to say AJ Menendez might be that one person, but if she's going to go into wrestling right now, why wouldn't she just go to the WWE?
Mandy Rose.
I think you're talking now. Could they afford her?
Probably not. Yeah. Well, another question might be is how much does it really matter? Again, we talked about the former Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet, or whatever they're calling her now. I mean, we've known for weeks that, the big secret that last night was going to be her debut on AEW. They barely drew more than the week before. I mean, I think I saw it was 801,000 or something like that. They drew, and on average, and they normally, the low end for them used to be like 820. And since the last pay-per-view, maybe now that Sting's gone, I don't know, everybody else left. And so you would think that for Mercedes Monet being on the show, that they would have at least gotten back up to what their normal average is. And, if not a bit more, and they didn't.
There's a thing called diminishing returns, the law of the diminishing returns too.
Yes.
They've been throwing stuff out like that for such a long time without doing anything with it, and people notice that. You could only promise the next big thing and throw somebody with a big name out there, but the problem is you do it often enough, you promise it often enough, you under-deliver often, and you don't do anything with them. They're just another toy in your collection. By the way, another women's wrestlers, both of the Iconics.
Yes.
Do either one of them still wrestle?
Who knows?
I think one of them is pregnant.
Yeah, I think Cassie Lee's pregnant again. But here's the thing too. This is going to piss people off, so you might want to put that little warning on there, Jay. But here's the problem I think with women wrestlers. A lot of women wrestling fans right now like women wrestling because they think they have to like women wrestling. They think it has to be inclusive. Just because you want women to be inclusive and you want them to have the equal part doesn't mean you're actually watching them, supporting them, and buying their stuff. The amount of people who are actually doing so, with rare exceptions, has gone down tremendously since the peak of the women's revolution. Becky still draws. Rhea still draws. Other than that, you start going down in quality. And part of it's because there's so many women wrestlers. And here's the thing, too. If you ever want women wrestlers to draw, you kind of have to do what they're doing and put so many out there now, because eventually you're never going to get the women to be on the same level as the men until you constantly give women chances to develop and give opportunities and get fans and get people who want to be women wrestlers and get those big time people that actually are trained right and get into it right and work people that are trained. It's only going to get better by constantly putting it out there. But I don't believe right now most of the women fans are actual fans of women wrestling. They're just fans of the idea of women wrestling.
I mean, I basically agree. I mean, I think there's a concept more than a reality. But I think what we see also, and this is a Jim Cornette thing, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. There simply are not as many top-level female wrestlers as there are top-level male wrestlers.
There's so much less of them in comparison, and they started way later to have the ability to actually be top-level women wrestlers. There was Medusa, and there was Sherry Martel, and a few others back in the day We have way more now than we had then, and it's getting more. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that they're so far behind the curve, so far started late to give an actual opportunity to be that way. The only way that they're going to ever get that way is to give them something to actually leech onto. And I know a lot of women who like the women wrestlers, especially Rhea and Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks even, or Monet or whatever, but they need their own show. They need to actually have something to be a part of too. And I think that's also missing.
What about Lacey Evans?
No, she said it right out. She never liked wrestling.
Oh.
She never really wanted to be a wrestler. It was just an opportunity for her. I think that sets her off on the wrong mental aspect and sets her off on the fans that are currently watching.
Yeah, like I saw some of the older names pop on there, the Bellas, and I can't remember which one, or the former Bellas. Garcia, is that their name? And, one of them just said publicly recently their neck is such a mess that although they would like to wrestle again, they probably never will. And, some of the older ones aren't. I saw someone say Lacey Von Erich, she hasn't wrestled in years.
Amanda Gordy, who I don't think even wrestles very much anymore.
Miranda Gordy. She still wrestles some because I follow her on the thing. I mean, she still wrestles, but again, it's almost one of those. You only bring them in if you have someone to put them against.
I don't want to speak ill or out of turn, but I think Miranda Gordy, excuse me. I think she rubbed some people the wrong way at the Empowered event, and I don't think they were asked back because of how some feathers were ruffled. Now, that could have been Hollywood Haley J. That could have been Jimmy Yang's daughter, but
Jazzy Yang?
Yeah, Jazzy Yang. But I heard that they had rubbed some feathers the wrong way while they were here, so that's why they weren't brought back for anything.
Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, there's too many sensitive people. Stop being so damn sensitive.
They rubbed you the wrong way? I don't care. Can you put them in a way to make you money?
Well,
I don't know if people don't know this or not, but back in the day, wrestlers hated each other. Promoters hated wrestlers. Wrestlers hated promoters. I mean, legitimate. Did not get along.
Nobody. Oscar Idol was a problem everywhere he worked.
Tag team partners often couldn't stand each other. But you know what you did? You did something to make money.
Rector damn near killed her.
Yeah.
Wendy Rector.
No, I guess I don't disagree with that sentiment, but I also feel like is Miranda Gordy a draw? Is Miranda Gordy going to get you a bigger house, or is it more of a problem that's not worth dealing with? And I apologize because I don't know details.
I don't know a lot. I've seen her wrestle a few times. Was she the best? Not necessarily, but then again, it was all within her first couple of years.
Sure.
But here's the thing. If you can't take advantage of her and her name and bring her in to do some stuff, then you probably shouldn't be a promoter. And
would it be weird if they partnered Miranda with Silas Mason? Would that be weird?
That would actually be something that made some sense.
They should breed them instead.
Although,
shit.
Well, you can argue that one.
I always thought Lacey Von Erich should have had babies with who was the UFC fighter that looked like her father? I just forgot his name.
Faber.
Yeah, Uriah Faber.
Yeah, that would have been.
I imagine there's a lot of people that wish they could have breeded with Lacey Von Erich.
A couple people have. She's got kids.
At least one.
What about Santina Morella?
I think
Santina Morella versus Max. We're going to go controversial. Let's really go controversial here.
I don't drink enough. But
Come over. We'll change that, DK.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is, this show makes me want to. So
does NWA booking.
Every time we're done with this podcast, I understand why people go to a bar, sit at the very far end, look down at their glass, and only occasionally put their finger up and then point down to their glass.
They take their credit card and they go.
Yep.
Can you turn that card around? I saw the last 3 numbers, but I didn't see the front ones.
Yeah.
It's actually a casino card for my nearby casino. So, like, good luck with that, you know?
Is that one of those things that if you play often enough, you keep moving up levels?
Yeah.
And you're like most people, where as often as you play, you'll make it to level 1 in approximately 13.7 years.
No, the reason why I have this card is when I go get my tomahawk steak, I get 15% off with it. So
okay.
I don't gamble enough to make it worth my while. I like gambling, I just don't have the time for it. And the wife and I would go to the Agua Caliente. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the Agua Caliente casino. This isn't the one that's near me. This is the one that when I go and watch Lucha Libre out in Palm Springs, that's the casino that I go to. And yeah, discounts on food as well. But I literally, when you bought the ticket, you got like a $10 credit. So I got a card to see if I could do something. Gambling is a vice, and I don't do it all the time. I try not to be addicted to anything. The only thing I'm addicted to is to doing podcasts with these two lovable chuckleheads.
I'm sure there's a cure for that.
It is. It's called vodka, and I do that often too.
So when you go to that casino, are you in a lot of hot water?
Yes.
I miss my Bally's Diamond card. Man, I used to get some free stuff out of that. I'd always get comped at the buffet, and the cheesecakes, the hotel rooms. That was so good. I miss those days.
When you guys come to California, yeah.
Oh, they had an amazing cheesecake, dude.
Both
that was worth losing money.
Both of you, when you come to California and you hang out with me for at least a night, I will take you on a tour of my palatial estate here on top of Mount San Jacinto. We'll go down to the casino. We'll get a big freaking tomahawk steak. We'll order a glass of red wine. And then for dessert, they have this amazing, like, it's almost like a bread pudding cheesecake, but then it's like, I'm getting all like salivating just talking about it. They put ice cream on it and fruit, and it's just amazing. And you guys will enjoy it when you come out here.
What food do you think DK would like if he came to visit Glassboro like you did?
He would definitely like the pizza for sure. I think DK would be a goer for all of it. Like, it was good food.
Cool.
What was your favorite, Jay, other than the pizza?
I shall return. You guys set up the show, because otherwise we're already an hour in.
We only have one to do this week, so it's going to go fast. It's actually a short episode. I looked at the time real quick. I think it's shorter.
Yeah, but it was a long promo.
All right. Well, then let's pull up the promo while DKM disappears, and you and I will watch the promo. If I can get it up here in just a second.
Give it some Viagra.
Oh, jeez. Blue Chew. We're welcome sponsors. No, I think DKM would have loved the pizza. The sandwiches were good. I just don't want sharp provolone. I don't like sharp provolone. I think that's what my body disagreed with.
So you like the flavor? You didn't like the way it hurt your stomach?
Yeah,
I think honestly it was the tots that got to you.
It might have been, but we eat tots in my house all the time, but we air fry them, so maybe that's.
Yeah, they're definitely not. They're deep fried, and that cheese is not exactly conducive, and so is the ranch not exactly conducive for people. For many people's stomachs, you have to build a tolerance to them.
That's fair. Okay, so we're gonna do a
and
promo.
Bacon.
We're gonna play the promo from the Southern Six on Joe Cazana Promotions. I hope this is gonna work. We'll see if it's gonna work right now.
I don't like either belt.
Never seen so
Was that Al Bundy's wife in the crowd? Peg Bundy?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Was that
It's too
Peggy
loud.
Bundy in the crowd?
Yes.
What the hell you even tell them what kind of show you running, Joe Cazana?
God, he doesn't need the mic.
You people need to get on your feet. We're TV stars, baby. That's what I'm saying. Show some respect. We ain't gonna say nothing till this thing's turned off,
By the way, never do that into a mic.
Lay it on, matey. There are stars in the southern sky. You're welcome. Now, when Thoroughgo told me we were coming to this trash town, I knew the people would be ugly. But I knew the check would be big, so we made it. That's what I'm saying. Money Now, I don't know what fools have the unfortunate luck to step in the ring with us tonight. But not only have they stepped in the ring with the American Gigolo, Big 18, they're stepping in the ring with 6 feet, 5 inches of devil, and 300 pounds of hell.
Here's where it gets good.
All our travels across the world, on all the international flights we've taken, we've had a chance to read up on something, and it's called statistics. I know you all ain't been to school, so you don't know what that is. But as soon as the American Gigolo Alex Taylor set foot in Kingsport, Tennessee, the divorce rates skyrocketed. But guess what, Toots? Yeah, I'm talking to you ugly cow. 18 wouldn't touch you with that dude's pecker. You know what I'm saying?
I love hearing the kids laugh.
Now, we are underneath the assumption that Kingsport, Tennessee was a destination place. We thought that JCP, NWA, XWYZ was the place to be. But the fact of the matter remains, this place should be built out of toilet paper because it's full of nothing but pieces of crap. And the fact is, there's only one team, one faction, one organization in this business that is hot, and that is the Southern Six. And what do they say, team? When you're hot, you're hot!
That's the cuckoo.
They're asking for the mic. They just broke it. By the way, in dog, if you throw that mic down, it comes out of your pay.
I wouldn't doubt that.
See how easy that is? No, I'm not here just to speak on behalf of Kingsport. I'm here to speak on behalf of the JCP.
That was a great shot, by the way.
The only thing hot around here. Because you're looking at the baddest tag team here in the Southeast. And if you want to come up in here talking game, you can step to us and we'll give you a fight that you don't need to fly for. You were the biggest man in the whole world till I walked in this ring. now, in front of the NWA audience, two guys that aren't signed are about to embarrass the NWA's hottest act. So I need somebody. Is it Joe? Is it Dan? Is it the greatest trainer in the history of the business, Dr. Tom Pritchard? I need somebody out here to make this match official right now. That's not necessarily what I meant. What in the blue blazes are you doing here?
Zachary, I know you are very shocked to see me here, but earlier today there was a meeting with Joe Cazana Promotions that Billy Corgan was on FaceTime for, and they have named and appointed me the new commissioner of JCP.
What are you doing? Joe!
Jerry Mathers is really going downhill.
Right?
You guys made some great points. And the Southern
Ward, don't you think you were a little hard on the beaver last night?
You are the hottest act in Joe Cazana Promotions. You are the hottest act in the NWA. And I can only think of one thing to do here tonight. In the main event, we're going to have a tag team match.
Can we get a shirt that would fit that guy? Like, I'm a fat guy too, right? But I would just wear 2X or 3X.
When you step in the ring with the biggest man who ever lived and the Thrillbilly Style is facing in the main event, it's your ass.
You know, I had a trapper keeper that was the same as Alex Taylor's tights.
Lisa Frank?
It's about to be a hot day in hell for the 76.
Is that it? I'm going to pull this off now.
Yeah. It set up tonight's match.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good promo.
Well, when Silas was talking. And the big guy. I guess the big guys can speak.
You know, I don't dislike Alex Taylor. I think he's pretty good on the mic.
He just doesn't have it. He's trying. He's not natural at it.
No, I'll say this. Is he a natural? No, absolutely not. And I do feel like sometimes when he's cutting his promos, like, you know, you got to believe what you're saying, right? And sometimes I feel like he's getting ready to laugh because even he doesn't believe what he's saying. But I think overall, like, his promos are getting a lot better than what they were when he was, you know, with the what were they called? What were they called?
Spectaculars?
No, but it was predates the Spectaculars. It was the
almost okays?
The Ill-Begotten. There it is, the Ill-Begotten. Oh. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a decent promo. Just real quick in the chat, Paladin kind of pointed out that everyone was kind of skinny fat. It's true, but that's kind of a byproduct of, I think, the indie wrestling. There's not exactly a lot of money for meal plans and training and strength and conditioning coaches and things of that nature. It's hard, man. I've been going to the gym lately, and you know, not as much as I'd like to, but progress takes time, and these guys aren't making a ton of money working independent wrestling. We all know that.
The dog sponsor, the Deptford GNC. If you ever want, there's a link we could send you if you want some advice on what you can get to get yourself into shape. That includes all you guys in indie wrestling. Yeah. I know for a fact there's a couple dozen indie wrestlers that shop at that particular GNC.
Didn't I'm forgetting his name right now, but yeah, a couple indie wrestlers were there. Okay, DK, are you ready for us to start watching season 4, episode 3 of Joe Cazana Promotions.
I am almost there.
We're going to wait for Jaden to count us in, but we'll wait till you get there. Again, just real quick, because we just saw him on TV, if you haven't had an opportunity to do so, our pal Silas Mason, friend of the show, he's been on in the past. He lost his home. He lost everything just earlier this week. And if you can make a financial contribution to his GoFundMe, it would be much appreciated. If you can't, that's okay. You know, obviously not everyone has the means to do that right now. But if you can, do so. If you cannot, please consider sharing it in case someone on your social media sees it and maybe can help out in some way. Matthew Underwood, who was at a WWE live event, says his son still hasn't taken off his LA Knight wristbands. And I think
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
but is he calling you a dummy yet? That's the thing, Matthew. You can't let him do that.
Dummy.
George Hackenschmidt's book, The Way to Live, is not that much either, and it has his strength training regimen.
Go George. I'm ready, by the way, whenever you guys are.
All right, Jaden, you count us down when you're ready, and I'll hit play when you tell me to.
All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to count down to 1, start from 3, get down to 1, and then I'm going to hit press play. Here's the hard part of the instructions. When I say press play, I need you guys to press play. All right?
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, press play. There's that nice graphic again. Very nice graphic. I like the way it shines.
I actually like their theme.
Yeah, I do too. And I think the NWA needs Freya the Slayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. A lot of spine busters.
Everybody's an Anderson. There's more Andersons than there are Dudleys.
Which is scary when you think about it.
You know, Joe Cazana said, just try us one time and you're going to like it. And you know what? He hasn't been wrong yet to me.
I don't like his belt though. It looks like a Halloween prop.
It looks like a replica title belt.
Nice way to start off with a promo. Was that his catchphrase?
Apparently.
This guy looks familiar. What was his name again?
That's Mims.
He looks big and bad.
That's Mims.
I know. Big and strong. Sorry. Big and strong. He's doing a promo right now. It's not bad.
His promo work has been getting better before he lost the title.
There are a lot of Moondogs.
Yeah. And that's Roxy, the ring announcer. Roxy used to be in Pretty Empowered. She's a former NWA Tag Team champion.
Jaden.
Yes.
Who's the original Moondog?
If you're talking about the one that was most famous, it was Larry Keane, wasn't it?
I think so.
But there was also Moondog Maine. And I really, really swear there was one in California, too, back in the day.
Well, it's another thing where small promotions used to get their own Moondog, too.
Oh, yeah. It was King and Spot first, right?
Yes. Oh, was it Rex? I thought it was Spot. Maybe Spot.
Rex came later because Rex was one of the Shadows, one of the original members of Demolition.
Right. The Nightmare, the Champion, and
Yep, the Wrestler, the Champion. Detroit Demolition.
This is Tyler Shoop in the ring.
Shoop-a-doop, shoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Looking at him, he's got decent height. He's not a fat guy.
Fat guy in a little coat. Sorry.
Did you see me earlier today? What are you talking about, man?
Do the fans consider him skinny fat?
I don't know.
Well, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
What did he say? He was around 250, 245, something like that.
There's definitely more Andersons and Moondogs and Dudleys than there are teeth in this audience.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you, especially with that one guy laughing.
Yeah, see, Mims can be marketed right, but they've dropped 7 balls on him.
I think the biggest thing is, he was maybe one of the biggest baby faces in the company, and they kept trying to make him heel. Even the announcers, they're putting over how he doesn't sit there and talk to them before the show anymore, making him seem like a heel when the fans are cheering for him.
Well, nobody really seems to know how to use him. I mean, he started out as enhancement, and then it's like they kept him enhancement long after the fans embraced him. Again, this group that points to, the fans love ? And we changed the way we did things because of how the fans perceive ? But then they never changed the way they did things based on how the fans were receiving millions.
Apparently they love weed too if they love ? Mushrooms, LSD, something.
I'm going with mushrooms. All right, let's take a look at this guy. Woo! Went blind. He's in good shape, at least. Needs to tan a little bit. I would like to say something.
What's stopping you?
You. No. When I make some of these critiques of some of the wrestlers here, need to firm up a little bit or need to tan a little bit, that's primarily if you want to go on and actually do something more in the business. If you're content just working here at Joe Cazana Promotions, fine.
Shoop's got nice arms. He can work on his upper body and his legs because his legs don't belie like his size. What was that?
That was
bad.
That's what's known as a botch. Apparently, that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm already convinced that Shoop is way too green to be. He clotheslined him and fell. What?
Because Mims ran through the clothesline. I think that's what they were trying to say. He's basically like a freight train.
Okay.
It was awkward looking. I don't think it was the right spot, but
yeah, I don't think this kid is. Look. This is where you break into the business. This is where you look bad, and you grow from it. But so far, Shoop he has a decent look, but his in-ring has not impressed me.
That was 3 kicks The first one was a botch. The second one was the enziguri, and then that one was like, why?
Because he knew he was going to catch it. That's why he put nothing behind it. And that's the worst thing. Kick him. If you can't catch it, then kick him again.
Exactly. You keep kicking him. It's up to him to do it.
Matthew Underwood suggests that Mim should be like Hank the Beast McCoy from the X-Men.
With blue fur? I'll get him over it. That'd be different.
More about his intelligence, but he has his hubris. Pride is his fatal flaw.
I can tell you that I don't need to see them do their hips anymore. So hopefully that was the last one.
That
wasn't.
There was way too much light in that Hangman's neck breaker. I could have hit 3 mims in between where that was. That was bad. That's why you get to the stupid hip thing. It was all because you get your spot over and not do anything right. His kicks are weak too.
Yeah, he's working. Okay, that doesn't work. I was going to say that was actually a very good position to be in if someone's trying to do a chin lock on you. You want to face them.
Oh, sorry about that. That's my fault.
Who is he comparing Shoop to?
Rick Rude.
Maybe when it was ROOD.
Well, that's what they're saying.
I don't have it up too loud because I'm trying not to drown you guys out. I also don't want it to be picked up on there. There's a really bad cravat. If you're going to do these fancy holds, do them right.
Well, it look like you're actually applying them, not just that you're putting your arms in position. That's kind of what's bothering.
Ooh, nice drop kick, though. I'll give him that.
Well, that's the best move he's done.
Yeah.
Now, I know they like heels to try and, get crowd reaction and play up the crowd. But don't do it at the expense of actually trying to look like you're trying to beat the guy.
Wrestlers, or wannabe wrestlers, hit really hard in safe places. Like there's actual shoulder blocks and there's punches look way better. Well, maybe not at that angle. Decent side Russian leg sweep.
I might be wrong, but I think Tyler Shoop is a former Penn State football player.
Well, the Nittany Lions aren't very happy with him right now. Seriously, stop it.
Yeah, it's way too much between the two of them.
Look at the light. Too much space. It's supposed to be a chin lock. I don't know. Maybe get his chin.
Well, also, you're supposed to be on him, so I shouldn't be able to see your other leg.
Yes.
He's probably like he's in there with Mims. I know some veterans that probably would start taking liberties with this guy.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
So I accidentally fast forward my match a little bit. Where are you guys at? What time are you at?
Oh, right now there's a couple back elbow, kick to the stomach.
12:34.
All right, I'm with you guys.
Headbutt.
Okay, I'm with you. I caught you.
Jaden's about a half second ahead of me.
Ooh, that was a good clothesline.
Yeah, that was good. That surge from Mims right there was pretty good. I like that.
Notice I'm not really saying anything bad about Mims.
Except for the hip swivels.
Yeah.
Well, he did too many at first.
What?
Bad decision.
Well, it's nice to know Joe Cazana Promotions is using Mims like the NWA does.
Shit.
That was a bad decision.
I agree. Sometimes a wrestler just needs to tell the promoter, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and I think this would have been one of those times.
Well, okay. So this is after he lost the television championship. Maybe this is like the redemption arc. Maybe he needs to go through some losses before he gets back into contention. Whoa, you don't put the hands on
Yeah, this is bad luck too.
This is not good.
You can go through some losses, but that's not who he should have lost to.
I agree. And I firmly agree that putting the hands on the referee was in bad taste.
Especially the female referee.
Yeah, especially after he lost to Max the Impaler.
Twice. Even if it's Jarrett Fritz, you shouldn't do that.
And then we got Paladin in the chat saying, well, once you get beaten by a woman, ain't no coming back from that. Mims loves beating women. Told you. He hits women.
Well, and see,
good luck getting Mims back on the show, guys.
those comments there are exactly why you shouldn't do intergender matches.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what, female athletes have said in other things, like, Ronda Rousey. It's not the image you want.
Which one's Doc Ock? Which one's Craven the Hunter? Which one is Electro? Which one? There's way more than 6, by the way, of the Sinister Six.
I would say that Silas Mason's probably Rhino, right?
No, Rhino works for TNA.
Shit.
The Lizard?
Maybe.
The Vulture?
Alex Taylor's the Hobgoblin.
Green Goblin?
Here comes
The Stew Crew.
The Harry Potter goblins.
Wait, did he just rip off a t-shirt? And he's still wearing a shirt underneath?
What about Goblin D's? Never mind, I'm going to not say it.
Thank you. That seems kind of counterintuitive to rip off the shirt while you're still wearing a shirt underneath.
Cool, he ripped off another one. There was another one underneath. I'd buy into that.
He's not going to rip the Stew Crew shirt. That's expensive to replace.
Needs a better supplier then.
Taylor with his hands up, he's got nothing to hold in him, but you got Silas there with double belts.
I know that's JCP's new belt. I don't like it. It just looks like something you would buy at the Spirit Halloween store.
He really hyped it up when he was on our live stream a couple weeks ago.
There's no contrast. It's just gold.
Yeah.
Well, it looks pretty much like the old belt, which I think said Eastern States or something like that.
Ricky Morton is the Vulture. Matthew Underwood, I'm giving you mad props for that one.
That was a good one. Paladin says, look at the announcer's leg. She's got some black thing on her. So she used to wrestle. I think she still does. I think she's been hurt. And then maybe it's an ankle injury. I don't know. Just addressing Mr. Paladin's comment. Oh, I can get behind two big men slapping each other.
You pay big money for that, don't you?
That's meaty men slapping meat, brother.
Sponsored by Arby's.
Meat Mountain. Have you ever had one of those, Jaden? Meat Mountain?
No, there's no longer an Arby's around here that's worth going to.
Was there ever an Arby's that was worth going to?
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, they're actually, when you get a good Arby's, it's very good. The problem is it's like looking for a 4-leaf clover while you're blind.
Paladin says he thought that it was an ankle bracelet, like she might be on parole.
Maybe. Now we'll have to go back and look later.
I didn't see a red light flashing on it. I'm feeling like that's not the case.
Middle of ring announcing, next thing you know, the SWAT team comes in.
I was going to say, she probably couldn't be there if it was a bracelet. Because that normally means stay home.
You're allowed work release. The best thing about Alex Taylor right now is his trunks.
Well, so Taylor is kind of like the he's kind of like the he's the guy that gets beat up.
Buddy Roberts.
Yeah,
he's no Buddy Roberts.
No, he's not, but he kind of is. That's the role he plays in this group. He's the guy that gets the heat. He's the guy.
You have to be one of the best wrestlers of the group to do that.
Well, it's not going to be Kerry Morton.
Actually, Morton gets the heat. He's the Michael Hayes.
Yeah. Kerry recently announced that he's renewed his contract till 2025. So looks like he'll be with the NWA for at least another year.
Oh, joy, grills.
I like Kerry Morton.
Yeah, I don't mind Kerry Morton.
Well, you can both be wrong. It's okay.
I can make money with Kerry Morton.
I think you can make money with Kerry Morton.
I don't disagree with the idea that you can make money with Kerry Morton. Yeah, that wasn't very good.
No. Like, if you're going to jump off the top, you better do something cool with it. Otherwise, you're wasting everyone's time.
I do like when they sit next to me.
Did you see that video of the guy in Mexico? He slapped one of the female wrestlers right on the keister, and she turned around and smacked the shit out of him. It was awesome.
That's actually extremely common in Mexico. They molested Scarlett Bordeaux in Mexico, and she was not happy, let's just say.
I did not know that.
Now you got to beat them.
Speaking of Thrillbilly Stylist Mason, one of the interesting names of the people who donated to his GoFundMe was Scott D'Amore. Donated $1,500 to his GoFundMe account.
I saw that.
And
he's independently wealthy.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know the connection that the two have. You know what I mean? Like, Scott D'Amore has kind of, we haven't heard much about him since was fired from Impact or TNA. The other one that was interesting is with Damien 666. Chris Jericho donated like $3,000 to him. And Jericho also famously donated to Virgil's GoFundMe to his final expenses. I think he donated like $5,000 to that. So, I mean, say what you will about Jericho, but he's kind of a very charitable man, and I
probably gets a picture out of that.
Shit.
And some meat sauce.
Oh, meat sauce is what was left behind.
I like the match. Most of it's been really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the Stu Crew is a very good tag team that the NWA, if they're not looking at them, should be looking at them. And I don't think you need to bring them in to be the next big thing, but certainly like them and
versus the Fixers, or them versus Murdochs, or them versus BFTs, the Big Friendly Giants, or whatever they are.
Blunt Force Trauma?
Yeah, that works.
I mean, like, I think them and the Heat Seekers would be good contributions to the NWA's tag division.
Now, are these brothers? Did I hear them say they're brothers? Are Plain brothers? Our brothers? Does anyone know?
I think they are brothers. I'm gonna look to see if I can find out.
All right, brother. You throw brother and the brother, and then brother attacks the brother. That's a legit time the Power Company twins called a match.
Yeah, it's Dylan Stewart and Zach Stewart. They make up the Stew Crew. So yeah, I think they are brothers.
They should bring in Rod. Was that a joke grenade? It took you guys way too long to get that one.
No, I got it right away. I just was hoping I could ignore it.
I was trying to think of a Rod Stewart song and I couldn't think of one, so I just shook my head and
if you want my body, anything can sex.
Don't worry. No worries.
I think Silas should be called Bam Bam. Silas Bam Bam.
Get rid of the Thrillbilly moniker.
As a heel, yeah. Thrillbilly's way more babyface. Silas Bam Bam Mason.
Yeah, I got you. I see what you're working.
Last couple times I've seen him, he's grown his beard back, which I like. I think he looks better with a beard.
Is that a fuller leg lock?
Yeah.
No, it's not a fuller leg lock, but it's a nice.
Isn't that like the
There it is. It looks effective.
Yeah.
He is. Is that something new?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I don't think the pulling of the hands was actually as effective as grabbing the ropes on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, you got to think about the way things look.
Physics, people.
You let it out too quickly because it looked complicated to get into, and then he just like stepped out of it.
Look, he's got his chin on a chin lock. Oh my god. I'd be pulling at the beard.
They all got beards. No, Thrillbilly doesn't have a beard.
The Stew Tomatoes do, though.
Yes, they do.
Ooh, that's nuts.
Ooh. Ouch.
You're like a full couple seconds behind me now, DK.
You know, I honestly think that my YouTube
Run slow.
And I mainly notice it on live things because it's like next thing I'll know, I'll be like a few seconds behind on live.
That was interesting. Ooh, nice power slam.
He used a man to hit a man.
That's a good weapon. Use a man to beat a man. Just use a man as a weapon.
So this crew, I think, is definitely. Well, that was good.
That's cool.
I really like this guy. I think I'm not trying to break him up here, but I think he would be a fine addition to the roster by himself.
Okay, J. Cal Corrigan.
That was good. You made me laugh.
They do that a lot.
Yeah, you do. I haven't. That's part of the reason why you're on the show. Expert analysis and a sense of humor. And you work really cheap.
Took a little too long.
It did take too long.
And he should have.
Did he tag him in, by the way? Yeah, but I think I figured that out. What I just figured out. I'm glad neither of them looked up.
Yes.
They don't have enough room to do that type of stuff.
No.
Oh, you know, he gave those ladies a cheap thrill. It's all good.
A cheap thrill, Billy.
Yeah. Cheap thrill, Billy. He had the belt right in front of Jared Fritz. Jared did nothing. I hate that. And I like Jared Fritz as a referee normally, but I did not like that.
I don't. I see too much that I wouldn't allow or don't want. Damn. He hit hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't land right. Okay, that made no sense.
Well, then he kicked him right there in front of the ref.
Yeah. You're supposed to wait till the referees, they're back to put the belt down somewhere else. Okay, so in both matches, it was Cazana boys versus NWA boys, sort of.
Yeah.
And in both of them, the NWA people lost.
Yeah.
I hate how he's throwing those belts down. That's a big sign of disrespect.
Yeah. If I had a promotion, because of how much I love belts, I would tell anybody, you throw the belts, you're probably going to be fined the same as half your pay. That wasn't convincing looking.
It looked kind of dumb. That was kind of like just a thrill ride, wasn't it?
Sort of. Well, and the weirdest thing about it, I don't like matches, or I don't like moves where like the extra thing they do wouldn't really make a damn bit of difference.
Yeah.
I think you're getting your singles wish there.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
If they didn't choose that title for the national title, but they went with a traditional title, what do you think they should have chose?
I don't know.
Do you think they should have went with the Black Bart, Tully Blanchard, Wahoo McDaniels one?
I mean, I guess if you're tying to that,
they should have went with the belt that Chance Prophet had.
Or
it looked just like
I would say kind of like that's a modern version of the old belt. I would go with a modern version.
Oh shit! Wow.
I'd go with a modern version of the red, white, and blue one. I'll be back with that.
Yeah, that would actually be nice.
Did you guys see Taylor pick up Thrillbilly and walk him out? Did you guys see that or no?
Yeah. Okay. Carried him to the back.
I thought that was impressive.
Somebody didn't skip leg day.
No. I would say if you know what, I think this might get me the wrong kind of reaction, but the junior heavyweight title, the Royal Crown Championship, I think would have looked kind of cool as a national title.
I like the belt. I don't know if I like it as a junior heavyweight. You know who would make a great looking secondary belt? The Severn belt.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Of course, that was loosely based on the crown belt. Years ago when Bruce Tharp first took over the NWA, and they used to announce at events and stuff like that Bruce Tharpe was president.
Yes.
Or they put on the TV thing, and I always go, "That's stupid." I go, "I don't know." And then I'm like I hadn't watched boxing real close in a long time, so then I'm watching like a boxing thing, and they had like a WBA title match, just the co-main event, and a WBC title match as the main event, different weight divisions. And I noticed in both of them that they announced who the president of the WBA and WBC was. And I go, oh, well, I guess I know where he got it from.
That's actually very traditional. I remember in Philly, they always, no matter who you are, you always had to have the announcing of whoever the state athletic commissioner was, even if he wasn't there.
Right.
The Honorable, there was no Honorable Rick Hazard, but the Honorable Rick Hazard is your state athletic commissioner.
Intriguing. Well, I do remember. Well, look, you go back to the day when there were the athletic commissions and they were over wrestling and stuff like that. And they would do, at the beginning of the show, they would announce everybody. So-and-so's your timekeeper tonight. So-and-so's,
Yeah. Yeah, and every one of them had to be licensed.
Yes.
There was commissions that if the guy running your music had to have a license.
That seems unnecessary.
Timekeeper, ring announcer, photographer, referee, second, manager, valet, all had separate licenses.
We just lost DKM. Then now he's back.
Sorry.
What's the shirt, DK?
It's the old Leather Rebels.
Oh. Mecha Wolf.
I actually have both Mecha Wolf shirts. I have the NWA Mecha Wolf shirt, which is this one, right? If I get it right, geez, what's wrong with me? There we go. That's the NWA Mecha Wolf shirt, and then I have the Mecha Wolf shirt that I bought at the wrestling show, which is this one. David Valentine, who's in the chat, said, I'm surprised the NWA didn't sign FTW and CCW as territories in Florida. I mean, they kind of did agree to work with FTW. Brian Idol and the people behind the FTW group are basically running NWA Chicago. So, I mean, I would chalk that up to that is an NWA affiliate. It's just not in Florida. As far as CCW goes, I don't know, man. I don't think they would benefit from joining the NWA. Would the NWA benefit from having them? Sure. But, they do that all the time. They run shows. Apoel Damar, who was on our show a couple months ago, said, CCW is the last independent territory. That's their slogan. And they're doing shows like 4 or 5 times a week. And the NWA is lucky to do 4 or 5 shows,
a year.
Like every 2 months, 3 months. But yeah.
Well, they're getting a little bit better, but like they still I found it so funny that they announced the return date to Duluth, Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't know when the next Signature Live event, and rumors are that it's Crockett Cup.
Their return to Dothan, Alabama is going to be December 14th. And tickets are already selling really well for that event, which is, I mean, Jesus, I don't know where I'm going to be in 6 months, let alone in December.
Alabama, Daddy R.
Well, I saw pictures from the show, and they sold a lot of tickets.
Do we have NWA Chicago results?
We do. I kind of ran through those on the pre-party, but if you want, we could do that again here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I actually didn't get a chance to watch the pre-party yet.
Okay, so give me just a second. I'll pull them up here.
Out of the 3 episodes, this one was actually probably my least favorite, but I still enjoyed it a lot. And I really did enjoy that tag match.
I think I'm with you on that.
I don't know that it was my least favorite. I might have tied.
Top 3?
Well, I mean, honestly, I probably enjoyed the first one the most, and then I've liked these 2. The first match on this one was kind of
sloppy and wrong person won, and the afterbirth was not very well done in my opinion either.
Speaking of Alabama, real quick, that's a shot from their live crowd in Alabama. So, yeah, I get why they're going back. I mean, that's the most full arena I've ever seen for an NWA show.
And I bet you there's still less teeth in that one than at the Joe Cazana promotion.
Yeah.
That's one big family in Alabama right there.
Jesus. Okay, let's get to Chicago results. Of course, the main event was advertised to be Mario Pardua versus EC3. EC3 had to pull out because of a sickness. We're not sure exactly what that sickness was, but because he was unable to compete, NWA President William Patrick Corgan welcomed the fans of the shows and said that the match between Pardua and now Mims would be for a shot at the NWA World's Heavyweight title on May the 3rd, their return date. So in what I believe is the match order for the night, Ryan Matthews defeated Sidney Porter and Bones in a 3-way match. Not familiar with any of those guys.
I think Brian Matthews is a Chicago mainstay.
That makes a lot of sense. Mims defeated Mario Pardua to earn a NWA World title shot.
Is that surprising?
Yes.
Say that again.
I said, is that surprising, especially considering Pardue was originally supposed to be getting the title shot?
Yeah, I don't like that. I again, I'm happy that Mims is getting a shot, but I feel like that was why even build that match if that's not what we were going to get. Trevor Murdoch teamed up with Storm Grayson, who I believe is a Chicago local, to take on Kerry Morton and Rafael Quintero. I'm not familiar with Rafael Quintero. Joe Alonzo, Mr. NWA himself, defeated Victor Inerstra. Charlie Kleiman defeated Daisy Kill. Brian Idol, who is your World Wrestling Council TV champion, defended his title against Anthony Katina and was victorious. The NWA Women's World Championship match between Kenzie Page and La Pescadita ended with Page retaining the Burke. The national title was on the line against Steve Boz. Silas Mason defeated him. And
that's very interesting.
What's that?
That's very interesting.
Right, and I think I know why. There were 300 plus people for their Highland Park show. Now, this was NWA Chicago, but it's not like the NWA hasn't been heavily featured in Highland Park over the last few years. They've done a lot of live events and TV taping from that Highland Park. So it doesn't surprise me that they had a 300 plus draw.
Steve Boz, by the way, is a very well known in Chicago.
Okay,
he's one of those Chicago crew who's been for a while.
Matthew Underwood says
had a cup of tea in other places too.
Matthew Underwood says, so where can we catch these Chicago guys outside of this show? Chicago style wrestling. I've heard Chicago style wrestling. I also heard freelance wrestling. I think Ego Fantastico has a wrestling promotion that I think a lot of Chicago. But then real quick too, we do have some upcoming shows for the NWA. Of course, tomorrow night in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Tree Lawn Music Hall. It's the When in Rome. EC3 presents the next show for them. I know he will be defending the title. I don't have the rest of the card in front of me right now, but tickets are still on sale, and we do know that they have been filming the Exodus Pro events. So I would imagine this one will probably be released on YouTube at some point, or maybe another wrestling streaming service. And that is tomorrow night. Then on April the 13th, April the 12th, you have the NWA TV tapings. It's going to be a 2-night event back in Tampa. So they'll be there on April the 12th and April the 13th. Again, that's 2 live events back to back. And then the next live event for Joe Cazana Promotions will be on April the 26th. No card has been announced yet for that event, but that's in Harriman, Tennessee. And then, if you're going to be a part of WrestleMania weekend, and if you go to some of those shows presented by Game Changer Wrestling, they'll be doing a collective event where Max will be representing Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. They will be on hand. I don't know if they'll be defending any titles, but they're supposed to be on hand.
Now, I did ask on the former Twitter if the Chicago show had been taped to be shown later, and I was told yes by Brian Idle.
Oh,
I don't have any details. He didn't share any details about who, what, when, where, but it was supposedly recorded and may be seen somewhere. So
I did see that some of the photos from the event, they had like the match projected on a screen, so someone was filming something somewhere. But as to where it will end up, who knows?
Not me. I barely know my name most days.
Well, I mean, that's basically the show for tonight. I mean, we covered a lot of NWA talk early and ended with more NWA talk. And, of course, we did a nice little watch along with Joe Cazana Promotions. I don't know, man. I think that should be part of the show going forward as long as there's content from Joe Cazana. I mean, you guys interested in doing another watch along and NWA talk next week?
Yeah, I would be, because it's short enough that doesn't have to dominate anything, and it's good enough to where I don't mind watching it.
I'd rather watch that and do the live play-by-play than talk NWA.
Well, and the idea is maybe we're pumping those numbers for old Papa Joe. I mean, he's been kind to come on our live stream twice. And, of course, we've had talents that work his shows like Kerry Morton and Silas Mason both have been on. They mentioned working for Joe. And I feel without being too rough about the NWA currently, I feel like what they're doing with Joe Cazana Promotions really kind of represents the NWA that I'm familiar with. It's the NWA that I grew up watching, and it's the NWA that I, spent most of the last 20 years watching. I will say this, and DK and I were talking about it off air, but, it was just 22 years ago today, Dan the Beast Severin defeated Shinya Hashimoto to win the 10 pounds of gold on March. Oh, I guess not 22 years ago today. 22 years ago on March the 9th, 2002. And you think about that, that means that TNA Wrestling has been around for 22 years. TNA Wrestling lasted longer than the Confederacy. So I'm advocating that we should replace all Confederate statues in the South with statues of Samoa Joe in the X Division Championship.
Not Dixie Carter?
No, God, no. No, Dixie is not a good idea.
No, that would kind of be like going back and, putting up events. So,
all right, fair enough.
But yeah, Samoa Joe works.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, Jaden. What do we know about Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators and their upcoming event schedule? Do we have some dates that are coming up soon?
Just right now, the two sold events at the Rowan College of Burlington County and Rowan University, respectfully. The Rowan University one is the first one. It's going to be on April 11th. The World Wrestling Grand Prix Championship will be on the line. The Dog Championship will be on the line. The Dog Tag Team Championship will be on the line. A whole bunch, a plethora of great wrestlers, and Daredevil Dave Dahl will be there.
A plethora. A plethora.
A plethora, if you will.
Yes, daddy.
and then on Thursday, that's a Thursday night, by the way. That's going into Friday evening, because the event starts at 9:30 if you're at Rowan University. If not, sign up now. It's going to be worth to see a dog event. Okay, put yourself in debt. Anyway, or you can go to Rowan College of Burlington County, which is also with Thursday. It'll be a Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to have the outside as of currently weather permitting. If not, we'll be back inside. And they'll see such great wrestling stars as the WWGP champion, currently Chris Steeler, the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators heavyweight champion, currently Breaker Morant, the Dog Tag Team champions, currently the Old School Empire. You'll also see Rhett Titus will be in action. Tank Tolan of OVW and Ring of Honor fame and WWE. I had a cup of tea there. And you will see Ricardo Rodriguez. He will be in action also.
I guess DKM just said F off and left.
Yeah. Plus Dave Dahl will be there, but nobody's there to see Dave Dahl.
Daredevil Dave Dahl. I'm sold. What happened, DK? You got tired of listening about dog upcoming events?
No, might. Not saying this is what happened, but I might have accidentally closed the entire browser instead of a tab.
That happens to me so much.
I hate tabs. I've always hated tabs.
It's happened to me while we're doing the show, and I have to be quick to hit that Control-Shift-Delete button to get it back up, or whatever it is, Control, whatever it is, to bring it back up. And thankfully, the show's still going on, but I'm like, oh, God, I just turned everything off. It's over.
I just don't like tabs. They always screw up everything up. Why can't we go back to just separate windows?
My wife hates the fact that I have 16 tabs open at any given time. She hates the fact that my desktop looks like looks like my dorm room. Anyways.
Real quick, I used to fix phones. The lady was complaining that her phone died in an hour after a full charge. So I went to go see how many tabs she had open. It didn't even give a number. It gave the infinity symbol.
Yeah, that's kind of. I recently just shut 60 tabs down, and I felt so. I felt like I lost. I felt like I lost this one. DK, how can folks follow you on the social medias?
$5,000 made out to me, and then I will give you all the links.
You'll give what?
I said you have to have $5,000 made out to me, and then I'll give you all the links.
Which is two of them.
All two of them. Hey,
three of them, actually.
I want to ask you guys for a favor.
No.
And I would consider this a personal favor if you did it. My buddies at Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators are at 951 subscribers. I know if you watch Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators and you watch the matches, especially the ones without Dave Dahl, you're going to enjoy them. Give these guys a like, a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get them to 1,000 subscribers. There's no reason on God's green earth that they are not at 1,000 subscribers yet. And once they get to 1,000 subscribers, that's going to help them promote future events. And of course, there's so much content up there. They're really producing so much. You could find literally 284 videos, and I think at least 150 of them are wrestling matches.
I guarantee it's more than that. It's probably closer to 250. There's a few promos and some shorts. By the way, if you're going to watch a short, watch the one where Fall Out Bob just basically flattens Dave Dahl. It is very enjoyable. It's the only time I actually recommend a Dave Dahl match.
And if you guys do enjoy the program, like our good pal Championship Wrestling from Jeremy says, give us a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm if you leave a comment after the video. like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is good for us.
By the way, don't say like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Apparently, that gets you flagged for spam.
Really?
Yeah, that's why you notice I don't do it anymore.
James H. Jackson says, if Dave Dahl leaves, I'll revolt and unsubscribe. Just kidding.
If he leaves what, the planet? We could use another moon.
2 moons. That's no moon. That's a Death Star. You can follow me at the Alliance Blog on all social media platforms. I haven't been super active lately, but I have a ton of content that I'm getting ready to start producing again. A lot of match clips and hopefully some more just Jake Howe point of view stuff, and we'll see how that all plans out.
Real quick for Willie Bowen, if you put Dave Dahl and Tyrus against each other, that gravity would create a black hole.
Why the hole got to be black? It's racist.
What do you got? Something like that? Don't black holes matter?
Oh man, all holes matter.
For the second time, I just closed it because you all are idiots.
All right. Until next time, we'll see you at the matches. Wait, not that one.
Thanks for checking out the pre-party, a presentation. Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.